So it's pretty obvious to me that I accidentally pissed off a lot of you when I made that video asking Valve to stop making random hats all class, and I can understand why you got pissed off. The majority of you probably don't see it my way, and instead of like giving you facts or explaining my reasoning, I just kind of ranted on and whined, and then that was it. So that was my bad. I'm sorry about that. I'd like to take this time to talk about why I feel the way I feel. And if you want to listen to that, great. If you don't want to, that's okay too. It's pixels in a video game. I don't really care too much. I'm sure you don't care too much either. So, real quick before I even start off, I'm still sick as shit. You can probably tell from my voice. I probably sound like I'm dying. I'm not dying. Well, I mean, I am, but everyone, whatever. Point is, I'm not dead yet. So, I can probably muscle through this video all right. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a great time. If you want to listen to it, sick. If you don't, whatever. So, there's a couple reasons why I personally don't like Valve making hats all class. And not just that, but how frequently they've been doing it. Because it's been every single new update has had one or two new all class hats. And that is what I especially don't like. Now, in the past, I made a video talking about the reasons why Valve makes hats all class. And one of those reasons that I talked about was Valve likes to experiment with the economy. Well, that point is no longer valid. Why? Because they've experimented enough, okay? There's no more need to experiment. You know what the fuck happens when a hat goes all class, Valve. Stop. Now, that's not the only reason why I care. You see, I'm an unusual trader. The vast majority of you probably don't care about unusuals, or you don't trade unusuals, and that's okay. That's totally fine. I care a lot about the unusual economy because I really am fascinated by the entire market and economy that has been built inside of this video game. I still love TF2 for the game itself, but I also think the robust economy is something of note, and it should definitely be, looked at and considered a real thing, because it's very real. People make money off of it every fucking day. I made a lot of money off of this economy. So, of course I want to see it flourish and get bigger and better so more people can make money or enjoy the trading market or whatever. So, here's how it affects the unusual market poorly. First, whenever a hat gets made all class, the people that recently sold their hat, like before it went all class, will probably feel cheated. They'll feel like they got scammed, they'll feel like they got sharked, etc. Now, obviously, someone buying a hat before it goes all class and being lucky isn't a shark or a scam. If someone, say, had knowledge of the hat going all class before it went all class and then bought a bunch of hats, that's slightly more scummy, but I still wouldn't consider it a scam. That's, definitions and all that stuff, it doesn't match up. So, regardless of this, the people that lose out on their hats because they didn't realize they were going to go all class will likely feel cheated, and then they will leave the economy, or even if they don't leave the economy permanently, they will either A, take a break for a while, or B, have a lot less capital to work with, i.e. keys, unusuals, whatever. They could have had, say, 200 keys, but instead they only got 40 keys. You know what I mean? And that's discouraging to a lot of traders. And that's, even if it doesn't stop them from trading, they have less to trade with now. It also falsely raises the value on a ton of hats. A lot of hats that are already inflated are getting made all class, and then they're inflating even more. So now, no one really wants to buy them for those values that people are projecting them as. And because of that, they're not moving. There's also less lower tier hats to purchase now, which means there's less hats for new traders to buy when they want to get into the market. Before, the Hot Dogger was a perfect new trader hat. You could easily buy an unusual Hot Dogger even if you were new to the market. You can't do that anymore. And as more low-tier hats get made into all-class hats, the less low-tier hats we have for people to get into trading with. Not to mention, low-tier hats are actually very valuable because they can be used in place of currency. I can think of many times where I've traded a large hat into multiple smaller hats, because smaller hats are easier to sell usually, simply because of the fact that more people can afford them. You are essentially increasing the amount of people that are able to buy your items when you downgrade to multiple smaller hats. With less smaller hats, the less likely you are to downgrade into smaller hats, less likely you are to start unusual trading from scratch. And that's an issue. Another big thing, it causes a ton of paranoia among traders. Now that all these random all-class hats are being made, it's like, oh, well, maybe my hat will be all-class. Well, I better not sell it. Oh boy, this guy is offering me my pure buyout on my hat. Does he know something that I don't know? Does he know that my hat's going to go all-class? Why don't I know this? And then you start like looking around and you're paranoid and you don't sell your hats because you're afraid that, oh, well, what if my hat goes all class? I can't sell it. That's stupid. But it happens. Hell, it almost happened to me. I thought the bloke's bucket hat was going to go all class because someone offered me like 5 keys above my buyout. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Nope, it was just a collector that really wanted the hat. But I didn't know that. I thought maybe he was trying to, come one over on me. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. And that's the issue. A lot of these things happen when you make a hat all class. Now, obviously, I'm no, like, trading god. I know my shit, but I can't tell the future. So maybe I'm overreacting. And if I am, great. I still think that Valve should chill a bit on all the random-ass all-class hats they're doing. But I understand why people like the all-class hats, and I like some of the changes. I think, like, a lot of the non-unusual ones are fine because they don't really affect the market at all. What people need to realize is that video that I made was primarily about unusual hats being made all class, not random normal craft hats. I don't really care too much about normal craft hats. Those aren't what I trade for. So if you like a random normal hat being made all class or multi-class, that's great. I probably agree with you, honestly. But when it comes to unusual all classes, I have my worries, and that's why I was worried. So now you know. Hopefully you don't hate me anymore. If you do still hate me, I'm sorry. Send me throat lozenges regardless. I really need some cough drops. My throat is killing me. But anyways, I love you guys. I'm sorry this video is kind of rambly and long. And it's probably going to be kind of unedited just because of the fact that I'm sick as shit. But regardless, I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. GG. Peace the fuck out.